Hello beautiful souls, welcome to another video. The theme of this reading is welcome to the new age. I got that download earlier when I was at work and I just kept hearing the song by Radioactive by Imagine Dragons, welcome to the new age. So first we're going to start off with, who are you becoming in the new age? Who are you becoming? The first card that came out was number 11, Damiana, the Beloved. So some of you might be entering into an era of love, of connection, deeper connection, either with someone that you're already with or someone that you're going to meet. It might be a crow, but I see this as a raven that's behind this person. Or this person, sorry, it's mirrored. I see this as a raven, and I tend to see ravens as like foretelling, like foreshadowing. So that could be it. We also have cannabis, detachment, number 31. So maybe there is something or someone you're letting go of. Maybe you're letting go of an old lifestyle or an old way of thinking. Pluto and Aquarius is really forcing me to address my shadows and address things that I didn't even realize were shadows. Some of you may be losing something you consider important or something that you are depending on a lot, that the universe wants to take out of your life because it's almost like they're a crutch to you, like they're holding you, not necessarily holding you down, but it's like you rely on someone or something for so long that you forget how to depend on yourself. And for some of you, this might be an energy of, again, someone might be coming out of your life, a job or a situation may be turning around completely. Maybe something that you really held on to or even manifested is now you're starting to see a tower moment in that, and it's not something to be fearful of. We are literally moving into the era of Aquarius, the era of revolution and change, and I feel like for some people it's going to be very sudden and very dramatic of a shift. For some of you, like I said, your mindset might be changing, your ideas might be changing. For example, for me today, I've been very dependent on my job. And I was telling my friend, like, I go through these cycles where I will be very focused on my job because I want to earn money, and I become very attached to the money that I earn. And then, like, all of a sudden, I will start doing the math, as I say, and, like, realize, like, it shouldn't be that difficult to make this kind of money on my own. And I'm not necessarily saying to quit your job or do anything drastic, but for myself, I'm challenging myself to start creating those income streams in my life where I can actually start to see, okay, maybe I can pay one extra bill, or maybe I can earn enough money to do something extra or to save or to whatever. Right now, I know I've calculated like my monthly expenses without credit cards, without loans, and I'm like, okay, that's my goal. I divided it by 4, and it's like, okay, let's see if I can meet that weekly goal at some point. I'm not being super harsh on myself. I'm not being super restrictive and like go, because that's the energy that tends to fizzle me out for me personally. However, having a goal and having that influx of creativity and ideas, that allows me to really blossom. And so my prayer to the universe on today, this Aquarius shift or Pluto shift, is to open up the floodgates of creativity for me again, because me depending on my job has kind of reduced my desire, my need to see anything in a creative lens or to have any creative ideas, because I'm just getting a paycheck and I don't really have to do anything extra than show up and do my job there. So now it's like, okay, universe, I'm opening up to the magic that is in me. I'm opening up and willing to pour out into the world again, because every single business, every single thing that I do is always meant to pour into people. So whether it's my herbalism, whether it is, in the past it was making like custom things for people. Now it's kind of going into tarot, going into herbalism, and making intention-filled herbal remedies for people, which I've already started and I'm so grateful for. But yeah, like open yourself up to the new possibility, the new awareness. Something else that came through for me today was actually allowing myself to think of the reality that I want. Some of you may be holding back from dreaming. You may be holding back from imagining something better for yourself because it feels so impossible. I think one of the shadows that have come up so dramatically in the past few days for me has really been around business and around the saturation of the market. And in terms of like anything that you do, it's like everywhere I turn, there's ads for every single type of thing. And Instagram is probably the most potent because it's so catered to me that it's like, I feel like the things that I want to do are the things that are being shown to me. So it makes it feel like there's already so many others doing exactly what I want to do, if that makes sense. And it's a little disheartening for me because it's like, I know I can do this in my own way, and yet seeing so many different people who are doing it in their own ways makes me feel like my way isn't worth as much. So some of you might have to challenge some shadows, and we're going to get into some shadow work cards in a moment. The other two cards that popped out, so we have Lemon Balm, number 52. It says Nurture, which is very interesting because lemon balm is kind of like my herb of the day because I've been writing an essay and stuff on it. But it's basically a sedative. It is meant to calm anxiety. It's meant to really just calm your nerves. It's a really calming herb. And it's also sedative, like just like passion flower. I'm not gonna get into it. But it's one of my favorite herbs. I've been using in teas a lot lately. So nurturing, what in you needs to be nurtured? Some of you might be having a lot of inner child conflicts coming up for you right now. In terms of maybe you're remembering a lot of things from your childhood. Maybe you are recalling some of the negative aspects, or maybe certain memories that you thought were positive. Maybe you're remembering repressed parts of it or things that you forgot. Maybe you're feeling a call to nurture yourself more. I feel like themes of self-love have also been coming up for me the past few days. I haven't really dived deep into it yet. But just realizing that there are areas of my life where I just don't nurture myself, where there's no need to rush, there's no need to be anywhere, but yet I rush through doing certain things where those things could really be a beautiful ritual in my life. So that might be something that you're dealing with as well, where you're being forced to look at the way that you treat yourself, the way that you look at yourself. I feel like a common theme I've been going through is like wanting to pour out love to others, or actually doing so, pouring out kindness and love and joy to others. And yet my biggest revelation yesterday was like the amount of self-hatred I had in like such an intense way the past 2 weeks was so fierce and so dramatic, and spirit literally called me out on it the past 2 days. And it's like I realized that the way that I was seeing myself was kind of the way I saw my mother, but also how my mother saw herself, and therefore what she projected onto me, if that makes any sense. So it's like a chain reaction, it's a full circle. And I'm like, I've gone from a period of loving myself and feeling content with who I am to a period of like absolutely hating how I look. And it was just such a gradual change that it wasn't until like yesterday or the day before that I really sat down and the universe was like, why are you being so cruel to yourself? Why are you being so mean to yourself? And again, realizing that, therefore looking back and like, I'm not really taking care of myself or nurturing myself. That's why, because I don't feel like I'm worthy of that love or I'm worthy of that care. And it's like, wow. So again, many of you may be feeling those shadows coming up where you're faced to look in the mirror right now in a dramatic way because you can't enter into that new age, that new transitional period in the same old mindset, in the same old perspective. Like, some of you may be seeing yourselves completely differently, and you may be forced to reconcile a lot of things very quickly. You may be forced to reconcile a lot of emotions, a lot of beliefs, a lot of triggers, a lot of trauma, and just know that it's for your higher good. Now, I live in Sedona, and someone I follow, a tattoo artist named Nicole, she had a post that was saying that like Sedona really brings up a lot of shadows. And when you live here, it's like it's so much more elevated and so much more dramatic. And honestly, I have to agree because I really feel it so intensely. Like I feel like every week there's something new coming up for me and I'm grateful for it because I know it's pushing me to be a better person, but sometimes it just comes up so suddenly that I'm just like, where did that come from? But I welcome it and I'm grateful for it because again, I know it's making me a better person. It's making me more aware. The last card I have here is Coca, which is foresight, and it's number 36. So we have Damiana, the beloved, cannabis, detachment, lemon balm, nurture, and Coca, foresight. Foresight. Some of you may be feeling your spiritual gifts awakening right now. I'm feeling it, and or awakening as in like some of you, it might be a little more intense. It may be more elevated. Like I feel, for me, a greater pull into activation, and I can see certain decisions that I'm being guided to make that I know are meant to activate me and are meant to bring me to the next level. So I am very excited for that activation. But yeah, some of you may be drawn to topics you never explored before. Your third eye may be strengthening as well. You might start to experience a lot more deja vu and a lot more psychic encounters. I feel like my third eye in terms of my dreams is a lot more vivid. I've been a lucid dreamer for a very long time, but there are times where I will actively remember and relive dreams while I'm awake. Not so much recently, but the past few weeks for sure. Or I will dream something and then my deja vu moments will be that I experience it and I remember in that moment, I dreamed this. So yeah, you may be seeing your dreams becoming a lot more intense, a lot more like foretelling, like you literally see the future. You may also start to kind of sense things before they happen. For me, it happens a lot in terms of conversations. Like I will think about something or, someone will sit next to me and I think of something. Like I literally will hear them asking or saying something and then they say it and it's just like, so yeah, you may be seeing a lot more things happen in your life. Even if it's not like a visual thing, you might start hearing more from your spirit guides. You might start hearing things. You might start again sensing things and actually feeling. Maybe it might be like an emotional sensing. Some of you might feel the need to kind of reconnect with your chakras and reignite them, re-enlighten them. Yeah, this just feels like a time of awakening for some and reawakening for others. You might have gone dormant, kind of like a flame. You've kind of fizzled out a little bit, but it's time to like build that back up. Where have you gone silent? Where have you, maybe lost your motivation, maybe lost your desire to do things? Where have you become afraid? Where have you stopped doing things out of fear or out of doubt? Maybe those are the things that need to be nurtured. What shadows do we need to work through, universe? What does the collective need to work through? What shadows do the collective need to work through? If not this deck, then we'll do the Heal Yourself deck. Alright, I guess nothing from this deck. I will show you the bottom of the deck though. We have Obsession. So some of you, that might be the thing that is kind of holding you back. Maybe you became really obsessed with something, obsessed with the views, obsessed with money, obsessed with a person, and you've just seen like a decline in other parts of your life. Yeah, okay, so we have selling out. So some of you might be in like a business, or you might be on social media, you might be doing something where maybe you started out loving it or being excited about it or walking in your purpose, but along the way you lost your way, or you became more concerned about the money, you became more concerned about looking a certain way, you became more concerned about the views, you became more concerned about elevation. And I will always refer to myself, I'm the only reference I have, so I'm sorry if you don't like it, but one of the things that was coming up for me recently was like Spirit literally telling me to stop focusing so much on my job, like what I don't like, and being miserable, and like saying, oh, I want to do something else, and start to really focus outside of work on the things I actually want to do, and which I've started doing. But also it's really funny, today one of our assistants or managers said that she would be stepping down in a month, and my initial reaction was like, I'm gonna apply for that. Even though I've been complaining about my schedule, even though I've been complaining about just not feeling aligned here, why would I choose to move into a higher position that would make me more miserable? That's so funny. I was telling my friend, like, I have my Mars and Aries in my 10th house, like basically all the stuff in my 10th house. So I'm really ambitious, and I tend to elevate very quickly in every job I've had. And the honest part is that even though like on the lower levels or the base level, sometimes you can be like, oh, I want to get paid more, I want to, like earn more money, have more financial freedom. The more I've moved up each time, kind of the more miserable I get, depending on the job. But it's like, why would I go higher or deeper into something that I'm miserable in, So maybe for some of you that might be what's happening. Maybe you might be with someone that is very much against your standards and not at all what you would see yourself being with or settling for, and that in that case you're selling out. All right, what else do we as a collective need to work through? You may be selling out in terms of, again, how you treat yourself. Maybe you're trying to align with the things you see on social media, or align or do the schedules or the routines of some person online, right? But right now, I feel like this Pluto and Aquarius shift is really calling you more than ever to be yourself. That has also been a recurring theme for me, but it's like coming into this space where you no longer seek to be like everyone else, but you seek to be yourself. And for some of us, it's been so long that we haven't been ourselves that it's like, who even am I? But yeah, some of you need to really explore and dive deep into who you are and what you believe and what you desire. Like, turn off the social media for like a few days, a few weeks, and just literally sit with yourself in silence, sit with spirit, and see and really like ask for understanding of who you are. And I've said this before, but whenever I think of who I am, I tend to go back to my younger years where I was very sure about who I was and there was no questioning it, right? So we have courage as well. Courage. So some of you may have to take a leap of faith. And I know someone was like, that is not what I need. That's not necessarily what you have to associate courage with. Courage doesn't necessarily have to be a leap of faith, but there might be something where you need to make a decision about something and you've been holding back out of fear or, well, pretty much just fear or doubt, and now you need to take the step. I've said this before, but like doing it anyway, regardless of your lack of qualifications or regardless of the degree that you do or don't have, the job, like whatever it is, doing it anyway. Whether it's applying for a certain position, regardless of how long you've been there, whatever. Whether it is starting a YouTube channel, making your first video for social media, whether it is buying your website, buying an LLC, getting something started, do it anyway. So whatever your limitations are, whatever you think of as limitations, write them down, and then really ask Spirit to help you understand which of these are actual limitations that are holding me back, and which of these are things that I perceive as limitations and are holding me back. So oftentimes when I do this, there's more likely than not, I will be able to go through that list and either figure out a solution to work through that limitation, or be able to set a goal concerning that. Like, okay, I can't start my business because I don't have the money to buy an LLC. Okay, so how much do I need for the LLC? Say it was like $300. Okay, well, how can I make $300? Well, I can save $300 for my next paycheck at work. Okay, it might take me a month or two to save that from paychecks. Okay, then in 3 months we'll start this. But what else can I do right now on the way there? Well, I can start brainstorming a brand idea. I can start telling friends and family about this business. I can start making a prototype product that I can give out and share with the world. Maybe I can get pre-orders. Like, allow yourself to be in that creative energy where nothing holds you back, where nothing holds you in a box. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out. Anything that we need to work through or work on as a collective going into this Pluto and Aquarius shift. Okay, so we have help from above. Number 27, help from above. So again, some of you may feel the need to reconnect with your spirit team or your orishas or your deities that you work with. You may feel the call to start engaging in your spiritual practice. Maybe you haven't really done too much spiritually, and you're being called to reconnect and really convene with your spirit council. Yeah, some of you, it feels like you've been trying to do it on your own for so long, and you really just need that element of faith, that element of letting go and letting God. There might be something that you are, again, just trying to power through, trying to muscle through, and this is the kind of thing that it takes spirit to get through. This is the kind of thing where Spirit has to take the, Jesus has to take the wheel, you know. And you just have to kind of take your hands off of it. So yeah, let me see if anything will come out from this deck. I don't want to just do like a whole bunch of decks for no reason, but you know, if we can get any messages, that would be great. So we have Lighten Up. Lighten up. Maybe you're holding on to something way too, like, not holding on to something. Maybe you're taking something so seriously, like it's life or death, or it's, you know, end all be all, like it's this or that. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that, like, one-sided. It doesn't have to be that black and white, you know, that single. We have Pause. Some of you may be going, like, this gives the energy of someone who is just very tense, very stressed out. And especially if you are going through like chronic stress, definitely try some adaptogens. Or again, lemongrass you might feel the need to use, but adaptogens like ashwagandha, holy basil I think is one, might be wrong about that. Holy basil, rhodiola, shisanga, any one of those herbs might help. And then we have Connect. So again, this can be connecting with your spirit guides, connecting with a friend. Maybe you've been isolating yourself for a long time, separating yourself from your community, and kind of just, again, going it alone, and you are stressed out, tired, dissociating, you know. And again, that has its place. It doesn't necessarily, I'm not saying like if you want to be alone to just push yourself into social situations. I mean, some of us are introverts and we don't really like being around people for too long anyway. But whatever it is that's stressing you out, even if it's like taking a day off or two from work, if you have time off and you haven't been using it, like take a day off. Even if it's an extra day off before your normal day off, like just take a break, rest, relax, breathe. And then we have Comfort that came out. Comfort. So again, coming back to that self-love energy, that nurturing energy, like just really allowing yourself to feel loved. If no one else out there is gonna do it for you, do it for yourself. Some people like to express it through like spa days or getting your nails done or resting. Honestly, sleep has become my self-care. Just like sleeping in is the best thing ever. So sleeping in, sleeping more, taking a long bath, taking a long shower, doing little things to just spice up your environment or make it more cozy. You know, getting warm lights maybe might be important for someone. If you're surrounded by a lot of white light, maybe getting some lights that are warm tone and not so harsh. Like right now, this light is my Himalayan salt lamp, and I literally have it on most times. If I leave while it's still dark out, I'll leave it on for my cat so he has some source of light. But yeah, honestly, I probably have this thing on. I have it on every day, and I have a big light that I don't use, and I have a lamp back there that I just turned on for the first time in several months because I wanted to see some herbs I was comparing for a class, and it was still too bright. I was just like, okay, once I finished it, I was like, turn it off. I like my warm light. I like my cozy, my blanket, a warm, like I have a little heater on my bed, and it's just like, I just like to be warm and cozy. My self-care has been watching cartoons. I've been watching The Simpsons and snuggling with my cat, who wants to go outside even though it's pitch black. And he will definitely wake me up tomorrow to go outside. He is an outdoor cat. I let him out every day, so that's why he's expecting to go outside. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey, especially this month. This month has been so many different energies. This is Teddy, everyone. This month has been so many different energies in so many different ways. I went from like going from wanting to slow down. I still want to slow down, but being in this energy of like wanting to embrace my femininity and kind of expressing self-love in that way. And then I kind of dipped. And yes, this does correlate with the menstrual phase. But then I kind of had a dip a little bit where it was like, okay, I really don't love how I look right now. I don't love how I feel. And I don't feel great about myself. And then it's just been like popcorn, cozy, just wanting to enjoy the simple things in life, enjoying some good food, and then, well, not really, but kind of, and then, yeah, connecting with people, making decisions, deciding to be very decisive, so allowing myself to make decisions that are critical for me. So I am getting a tattoo soon. These have been tattoos I've had visions of for about a year now. And it's probably not going to be the same as I envision it, but there is, like, again, I sense that there's an activation that's going to come through it because these are very intention tattoos. So I look forward to that. I will be going to my consult in about a week, and this is with a tattoo artist I discovered on Instagram. And as soon as I discovered her, I was like, this is my tattoo artist, because that's been my one thing, like trying to figure out who I'm supposed to work with and trying to find like who aligns. And this tattoo artist does Reiki with the tattoo, so, or she has that option, and I was like, there she is. Thank you, universe. Thank you. So, and yeah, also just like connecting to others, but also connecting to them in a creative way. So for one, I connected with an old friend I met here last year, and it was just this recognition that there was something I had to get specifically from him, and just being willing to pay him for it, right? And then again with this tattoo artist, randomly found them, connected with them, and it's like, okay, you are supposed to do this for me and with me. We're supposed to collaborate on this together. So definitely leave yourself open to that collaborating energy. There may be people that you're being connected to in this time that are part of your soul family, that are part of a greater, again, activation or a greater purpose in your life. Even if you meet them once and that's it, there may be conversations that are coming up that, again, total strangers, but it has a very distinct lesson. Be open to it. Be open to it. Like, I am not someone who loves talking to strangers, but a lot of times, like, people will just start talking to me in my department and telling me random things, and I think it's very easy for people to be like, oh, it's not my job to listen to you, or it's doesn't, like, you're just rambling, you're crazy, blah blah blah. But I am grateful that I've always kind of been that person who just kind of sits and listens, sometimes at my detriment of my energy, but I just kind of like take it all in, because it's like, I'm not going to be disrespectful or rude or turn you away, because what if I'm the only person who's listening to you today? What if I'm the only person who's giving you the time of day, the time of your life right now, right? What if all you want is to be heard and no one else is listening? So for me, that's very important to be that to someone else, because I went a lot of my life without feeling like I was being heard or cared about, and I want to be that positive light and that positive energy in someone else's life. So enough of my rambling. I am going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.